Oh my god,
What's up, people of the internet? My name is Jandro, and it's time for the 20th episode of Loco's PoGo podcast. Again, per usual, I'm just getting over being sick, but I am seated here with a still currently somewhat sick Forrest, aka Funky Dude One. How you doing, man?
Good, man, except for being sick, a little stuffy, not contagious anymore, thank God, but I've been going through every symptom of being sick over the last week and a half, so I'm trying to knock all the symptoms off my checklist and be better now.
I know you say you're not contagious, but just in case, let's not make out.
Okay, cool. Deal.
All right.
After I'm better, we can make it. That's fine. We'll do that.
Yeah, get better, and then we can get back to making out.
Cool.
Anyway. So, yeah. A lot has gone on this month as far as new events and cool new things happening in Pokemon Go. We are going to cover today. Obviously, we've got first up is the Hoenn event. Then we want to talk about, to go along with that event, the new raid bosses that are out for this month, as well as the changes to the egg pool. I'm kind of curious as to why no new special research yet. Kind of a missed opportunity for Jirachi, as well as touching on Feebas Day again, because we've got some new news about that. And then we'll round it all out with some Boulder Cup information, in case you guys were curious. So, yeah, the Hoenn event.
We are 2 days into the Hoenn event as of this recording here. It is live. It's going pretty good. It's an interesting event. I wouldn't say it's the most hyped event that I've been anticipating.
It does have the thing I like the most about it. Well, obviously, I mean, we got new raid bosses and everything else, but I like that they dropped 2 shinies right off the bat. We got Zigzagoon and Tailo, as well as if you evolve a Shroomish, you get a Breloom or Breloom with Grass Knot, which is pretty cool.
I think that part is probably the coolest part for me.
I mean,
I feel like they should have been doing that for past events. I think it would have been cool to do like evolving, like they've done it with, I guess, the forms of Pikachu, or if you caught a Pikachu during the Christmas event at New Present.
Yeah.
For the
and then
1
during
year
community
before,
days and stuff, obviously.
they do that, but I think it's cool when you're doing an extended event a couple weeks to maybe give the opportunity to say, if you evolve this Pokemon, it'll get an exclusive move, which is better than what it currently has or could be.
Yeah, because Grass Knot's a pretty powerful I believe it's 90 base power, double bar, which are always the best moves in the game as far as damage. So definitely a pretty exciting thing. As well as just generally, basically all spawns are all Gen 3 right now.
Yes, there's still a few out there that are in between. I haven't looked. Actually, I'd be interested to know if they changed all of the nests and if there are still Gen 1 nests and stuff out there.
There probably are.
I know every time we have an event, it does shake up the nest rotation too. So it'd be interesting.
Even if the nest just changed, they change again.
But you are right. The majority of the spawns that are out there right now are Gen 3 focused. Aeron is out everywhere. Swablu, all of that stuff. And as you mentioned, they did drop 2 new shinies, Zigzagoon and Tailo. But with all the Gen 3 spawns that are increased, we've had several shinies of those already released in the past.
Sure, yeah.
So it's an extended chance to get everything. You mean you already have your Plusle, Minun, Wingull, Roselia. You've got
Swablu, like you said.
Swablu, Wailmer, Aaron, Meditite, Hariyama or Makuhita, Absol and Mawile in eggs and in raids and stuff now too. So there's
Shuppet.
Shuppet, Shuppet, Duskull. I mean, the list goes on and on. There is no shortage of shiny checking during this event, which is pretty cool.
Yeah, especially in heavily densely populated Pokemon areas.
Yeah, so they did do a good job here. I think for me, like, growing up, Gen 3 was kind of one of the coolest gens to actually play for the games, the actual main series games.
Okay.
But I think in this game, it was just done a little weird. Gen 3 I appreciated them dripping it out, but we're still missing some evolutions and some Pokemon from Gen 3. I'm surprised they didn't release Clamperl and its evolutions yet. We're still missing Kecleon. We still have a few gaps in the Gen 3 Pokedex here. And then as we had mentioned briefly a little earlier, the chance that they could have also implemented at the same time as this event, special research for Jirachi.
Who's 385.
Who is the next mythical in the line after Celebi. It's the perfect time while Gen 3 is going on to have some tasks that are oriented towards catching Pokemon or doing things with Gen 3.
Yeah.
However, on that news side of things, there has been people who say they're expecting special research for Jirachi, I believe in June or July, because Jirachi is actually associated with some sort of festival that actually isn't a real thing that exists.
Oh, really?
In June or July, it's like a wish festival.
I'll have to look that up. I haven't heard of that.
They're thinking that's there, but then to that same point, I would say, why would you not hold off on doing the Gen 3 event until that was going on at the same time? Line it all up a little bit better. I think it would have made more sense, but
I don't know. This is it does seem to be like, because again with our field research for these months, there's nothing really super exciting going on. It's rehashing.
There's only 3 new.
Yeah, it's mostly rehashes of just previous stuff.
There's 3 new tasks during the Hoenn event. I believe one is evolve 3 Wurmpools, which gives you a Trapinch.
Okay.
Which everybody loves. There is...
I know the catch 10 Zigzagoon or Tailo for 1,000 dust.
For 1,000 dust. And there's one other one, which I think has to do with eggs or... I can't remember, but it's for, a nose pass.
Is it the catch 5 Pokemon with a raspberry? Is that it?
I don't. Maybe it says Hoenn Festival or whatever it is.
I think I got that one last night, and I was like, I just transferred. I wanted the dust from Zigzagoon and Tailo because there were so many of them.
Once again, I'm surprised. I'm waiting. I know that they've increased having Absol and raids and stuff again, and in eggs now. But that one task they had for a while of just an excellent curveball for an Absol would have been a perfect one to bring back.
Maybe they thought it was
something
too easy.
for Mawile, like helping the people who don't raid and can't. I mean, Mawile you can do pretty easily, but
Mawile basically
not everybody could do solo. So definitely giving them the chance to maybe get that research would have been cool.
Yeah,
but other than that, it's an event,
and it runs all the way until almost until the very end of January. So it's 2 full weeks. It started on the 15th at 1 p.m. Pacific Standard and runs all the way through the 29th at 1 p.m. Pacific Standard. So that is Tuesday. That was Tuesday of this week all the way till the last Tuesday of the month. So
it'll run until they release a 2-2 Pikachu that takes over all spawns during the Gen 3 event.
What?
Just throwing an example, they always overlap.
Oh, you're saying like 2-2 like...
Because remember Fragment Hat Pikachu that overtook all the Psychic spawns during our Water Month?
Yeah.
So
exactly.
So until something like that comes along, that's how long this event's going to last. But the other change up, though, with the new raid bosses, we already know that the legendaries of Kyogre and Groudon were coming back.
Yeah, we can we'll transition into all the new raid bosses. So, yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, Kyogre and Groudon are back. We had the introduction of Shiny Groudon, which was pretty exciting and expected.
Pretty easy to predict when they announced that Groudon was coming back. It's like, okay, well, if he doesn't come back shiny this time, because Kyogre has been shiny since last June.
Well, and I think it's funny that they waited so long to bring Kyogre back or Groudon back to do that, and now because it has a new shiny, most people's attention is trying to get a shiny Groudon, especially if they've already gotten a shiny Kyogre.
Yeah.
It's like I have had no motivation to go do any more Kyogre.
No, I've already got for Groudon. I mean, I really don't have motivation to go do either because I've got a 98. I think more than one 98 Kyogre, and I've already got one maxed out, and then I've got a 96 Groudon that's already maxed out. So it's like,
but that's shiny though.
If I get a shiny, okay, that's cool. It's not something I have to have. I don't know. I've kind of cooled on on raiding a little bit recently. Probably because I've got a new job and I'm more focused on doing a lot of that stuff and not as much on raiding
sick and everything
Pokemon.
else too.
Yeah,
so.
and then the holidays and stuff that we just got through and all that. So
the other cool change up that I saw, I mean, we can go because I know one of the ones you were surprised
let's just go down the list. So
Okay.
obviously our tier 5s, we have Kyogre and Groudon out there. Neither of which are soloable, even with the updates to PvP changing the stats. We do have a couple returning tier 4s, but 2 completely new additions. So we've got the new addition of Shiftry, which is a 3rd tier evolution of Seedot, and then Metagross, which is the final evolution of Beldum, and neither of which have ever been in raids before, so that's really cool to see. And then you've got the return of Aggron and Absol, which of course you can catch as shiny.
For Metagross, I know Metagross was never there. Was Metang ever
No.
a raid boss? Okay. I thought for a second that he was.
No form of Metagross has ever been a raid boss.
Well,
as far as I can remember.
Definitely go out and get that. I haven't heard of anybody getting a shiny Metagross off of it.
And it's not. And Silph doesn't have it listed.
Yeah.
Otherwise, I'm sure day one someone would have been like, "Look at my shiny Metagross! I just got off the raid."
The other coolest one that I see actually is here in the tier 3s. Lunatone and Solrock are appearing everywhere for everybody, regardless of the region they're in, because they were swapping based on the lunar and
like
solar
halfway through the year
cycles.
Or whatever.
So for us right now, we haven't seen Solrock in God knows how long.
It's been a while.
Lunatone have been pretty consistent for us. I've seen quite a few Lunatones.
I've caught a lot of Lunatone at night, specifically at night and early in the morning.
But it'd be nice to catch some more Solrock here, not have to wait till that transition rolls around, especially to help people who didn't get the chance to the first time.
Sure.
Little surprised they didn't.
And those are both easy solos. Crawdont is a new addition. I don't think Crawdont has ever been a raid boss either.
Mm-mm.
And Crawdont's a new addition. Another easy solo. And then Claydol returns. Not as easy to solo, but all tier 3s at this point are soloable. Except, I don't know. They haven't re-released Shuckle yet.
Okay.
But does Shuckle have a double weakness to anything?
I don't know.
If
I know
Shuckle,
his defense is super high, though.
It's the highest in the game.
Yeah.
If Shuckle doesn't have a double weakness, it might still be the only tier 3 that you can't solo.
Possible. Yeah. I mean, only time would tell if they end up re-releasing it.
Yeah.
The one other one I'm surprised wasn't on this list were Zangoose and Seviper. They could have done those because those were also the other regional that was switching.
Yeah.
And we haven't had Zangoose in a while.
Zangoose in a long time.
I think they forgot that they were supposed to be like constantly chasing each other and rotating. They kind of just left that out in the wild.
But I do like the tier 2 list here. You got the second evolutions of all the Gen 3 starters. So you got Grovyle, Combuskin, Marshtomp, which spoilers for the Boulder Cup, Marshtomp is a beast. And then you've got Kirlia, Sableye, and Mawile again, which is always good to see Kirlia back in there just to have that good Kirlia in case, especially if it's male, so you can have a Gallade once they decide to actually release the rest of once they decide to eventually release the rest of the Gen 4 evolutions, which I'm still not sure what they're waiting on there. And then tier 1, you got your basics. It's all shinies, which is kind of cool, or all shiny possibilities. But you got your Wingull, Plusle, Minun, Shuppet, and Duskull. The only one I think I would even spend a free pass on would be Duskull, because that's the only one I don't have the shiny of still.
That's same with me. I don't have a shiny Duskull. I got shiny Shuppet and all the other ones.
Yeah,
so.
I have 1 Shuppet, 5 Minun, 5 Plusle, and like 5 Wingull. So
still hunting for my shiny Absol at some point.
I did get super lucky and I got shiny Absol like maybe 2 months ago when I was raiding with Tyler. We did that. We did a random raid. I was like, hey, anyone want to come do this Absol at Metal Palm Trees? And Tyler was like, yeah, sure. And so we both pulled up, I did it, and I was like, yeah, boy! Got that Absol!
I'm going to try to raid as much Absol and hatch as many Absol during this event, because Absol has actually been added to the 7K egg pool.
Yeah, a couple months ago. Got him on November 9th.
Lucky you.
Yeah, let's look at the so with the raid bosses out of the way, we can look at the updated raid pool. So that's pretty cool. So we'll look at this is the new updated egg pool. This is from Leak Duck, and I can actually go ahead and I will, if you guys want to see this tier list for what's in raids, I can link all these articles in the description below. So if you are curious to see this stuff for yourself, I will link everything that you see here in the description. So this is the current egg hatching list from Leak Duck. These guys are super reliable. They've always got really good info. And this one's actually been updated as of time of recording, was updated yesterday. So very up to date. So the 2Ks, I mean, nothing super exciting. Obviously, a lot more Gen 3 stuff in the 2Ks right now, specifically.
Yeah, it's
like
about,
love disc in there.
There's only 4 actually.
Swablu. Is it just these guys? Yeah. Aaron, Whalmer, Swablu, and Love Disc?
Yeah. The other ones actually are mostly Gen 1.
Yeah, there's a lot of
one Gen 2, and then 2 Gen 4s. I don't think the 2K egg pool has changed at all, though. And the 5K has changed just a little bit, I believe.
5K has so much stuff in it.
And it's getting a little overbearing.
This is overpopulated. You got all 3 Gen 1 starters. Let's see. I mean, you got Gen 1 all the way up to Eevee. So that's what, 6, 12. That's 14 Gen 1 Pokemon. Gen 2 goes from Chikorita down to Phanpy.
Mm-hmm.
So that's what? That's 4. That's 10, 11. So you've got 14, 11. That's 25.
Gen
and then
3
you got
goes
low tag to Snorunt.
Mm-hmm.
So that one's not bad. There's only about 9 of those. Only about 9 Gen 3, and then... Well, that's weird, because Gen 3 actually has way less than even Gen 1.
It's the same thing, though. It's kind of weird.
And then Gen 4 has 7.
It's weird that the Gen 3 event is going on, but they have, like, lower numbers as far as being in eggs, things of that nature. It's a little odd the way that they've done this event, but they changed it up. The biggest change is coming right now in the 7K.
The 7K eggs is pretty significant.
Not only did we get the addition here of Absol, Mawile, and Nincada in eggs, there have been increased rumors now of Chingling hatching at a higher rate.
Which is very cool, because that thing was like it was the rarest thing in 7K.
Exactly. It was, 0.02%. The reason for that increase is because Chimecho is actually a third gen
Is
Pokemon.
Gen 3, it's from Hoenn, yeah.
So there's been an increased
at least that's chance. The stipulation.
That's what people have been at least reporting here.
Yeah.
That there's increased chances of getting Chingling and eggs right now, currently 7K. So that was helpful. I actually hatched a Chingling.
But yeah, having the other nice thing, kind of going from 7 to 10s, the 10K egg pool. We actually were talking about this right before we started recording. This 10K egg pool sucks. This is terrible.
I feel like the 10K egg pool has sucked for quite a long time.
It's bad.
Initially, it was good when you were trying to get certain. You were like, "Oh yeah, 10K, I'm excited." But then they've re-released so many of these for Community Day. I mean, you think 1, 2, 3, 4. So 4 of them have been Community Day Pokemon.
Yep.
You have Trapinch that always hatches. Feebas that always hatches for me. Shinx is in raids, and people, I'm sure, are fed up with trying to get a shiny there.
Well, the Shinx isn't currently in raids, though.
Well, when it was, though, I mean, Shinx has been in 10K eggs even while it was in raids.
Yeah.
So the only really exciting ones here
is Riolu. I'd be okay with Riolu, Aerodactyl,
and a Ralts. If you can hatch a good one and have it ready for the next gen.
Yeah, because, I mean, it's always good to have a male Ralts, or even male or female, because Gardevoir and Gallade are just both beasts.
If you didn't have Porygon at this point, I mean, Porygon was in raids. If you've been playing for a while during the...
Porygon's Gen 1, if you don't have Porygon at this point.
Well, during the Valentine's event, they were...
Yeah.
everywhere.
Yep.
All the pink Pokemon, like that was crazy. Slackoth is the one that I've seen the least out of 10K eggs, but Slack King isn't really that great. So
No,
it's not
Slack
like there's
King sucks.
anything, because it doesn't have any move that would help it.
No.
Like there's no quick move that would help. So it's kind of useless at this point.
Well, and it's charged attacks. It takes too long to charge them up, and you're just standing there taking damage.
Yep.
So you're not getting anything out of him. He's never Slack King has never been good in this game, other than just to set it on a gym to kind of frustrate people.
That's exactly what it is. I only have one.
Because if you give it the fairy attack, when people use a Machamp against it, as long as if they don't dodge it, they take a lot of damage, and that's about it.
Mm-hmm.
But that's really it for the egg pool. Nothing. The best thing out of it is that you can get Riolu in both 7 and 10Ks.
Yeah,
That's really the best thing, is that and then the additions of Absol, Mawile, and Nincada are pretty cool. And then increased
Chingling is huge right now. Definitely try to get that if you can, because after this event, I'm expecting it to go back down to what it was, or at least
next to nothing.
Yeah.
So that's pretty cool. Next up, we do have the Feebas Day coming up this Saturday, right?
Yes, this coming Saturday.
Yeah,
the
so
19th.
on the 19th. And there was actually some new text that Thralls on Twitter actually found in the code of the game. So these are the, as far as we know right now, these are going to be the 4 field researches that are going to earn you that Feebas encounter.
Spoiler alert! If you don't want to hear this,
This
don't know
is
why
not.
you wouldn't
this
want to
is-
hear it, but
It's nothing. There's nothing.
just letting you
There's
know.
nothing to spoil here. But so they're all pretty easy. It's earn one buddy candy is going to reward you with the Feebas spawn. Hatch 1 egg is going to reward you with the Feebas spawn. Make a certain amount, probably maybe I would guess no more than 5 great throws, and then it could even be like 3. And then make nice throws. It's probably 5 nice throws and 3 great throws would be my guess, because the other ones it's all so simple stuff, because they want you to encounter as many Feebas as you can. So,
and it's very easy strategies. As far as the earn 1 buddy candy, we all know trade your buddy Pokemon into Magikarp, Geodude, something of a 1K caliber.
Anything that only takes 1 kilometer to walk.
If you have the ability for the Hatch 1 egg, I think that one's going to be the most difficult out of all of them. But if you can plan accordingly and actually stagger your eggs in your incubators,
yeah, you could do that.
you would have 1 hatch, and then you could potentially pick up another one by the time the next one's hatching. It would make it go pretty quickly.
Yeah.
As far as the great throws and nice throws,
That's
self-explanatory.
Easy.
But if you want an even easier time, definitely recommend stacking encounters right now for your research.
Yeah, you could.
Because you
You
can
can
always
still stack up to 100 encounters.
You can still stack up to 100, so you could have some on standby, especially ones that are maybe a little more difficult to catch because A, they can't run from you, and B, you could just sit there and get your 3 great throws in a row, whatever it happens to be, and get your Feebas and move on to the next stop.
But yeah, if you're out and about at all, these are going to be, you're going to be able to do any of this stuff like it's nothing. So
other important note though, make sure the morning of January 19th, before Feebas Day happens, do not complete any tasks that you picked up from those stops. They may have fixed the bug that they had a while ago where if you picked up a task from yesterday and completed it, it was actually not allowing you to pick up another task from that stop anymore. There was a glitch.
When did that happen?
That was
because they used to do it during Community Day. It turns it turns it all off.
It resets it.
It resets every stop, before and after.
I would say, just to be safe, if you're wanting to maximize the amount of research that you can get, if you have limited stops in your area, definitely just wait till the event starts. Gather the Feebas research then. Don't want to screw yourself over if you don't have to, but
you never want to screw yourself over.
Yeah. True story. True, good advice. But definitely, yeah, easy task to complete. These should be way easier to knock out. I'm glad that there's not an Evolve, a Feebas task, things like that were a little unrealistic to complete within a 3-hour window. So I think we were accurate.
Yeah, this is clearly an event. They're not going to be, because there's not going to be Feebas spawning in the wild. They didn't talk anything about that in the announcement.
It was just
it's specifically field research tasks to spawn Feebas for you with a more likely than not a high increase in shiny encounters for Feebas. And then, like you said, the other thing is that when people were getting shiny Squirtles during Squirtle Day, everybody that spun that stop to do that task was getting a shiny from that specific stop.
They were locked to the stops, not the actual person.
Yeah.
Like, it wasn't random. It was actually locked to a stop.
So if someone's getting... Pay attention to people that you're walking with to see which stops are basically giving out shinies. It may not be linked that same way this time, but it could be.
Here in America, we'll actually have the benefit of having Europe and all of them go several hours before us. And you could check on the Silph Road Reddit,
sure,
any other news sources you find to see if that happens to be a common theme. Because news travels fast, and that'll give you time to plan accordingly and communicate with other people that you may have in your group.
Yeah.
So
yeah, good luck out there on Feebas Day on this upcoming Saturday. So I want to kind of round this out and talk about the Boulder Cup that is going on this month, sponsored by Silph Road, or being held by the Silph Road, by trainers all across the world, really. I mean, it can be anywhere. But if you, like I said, the links to all these articles and stuff will be in the description below. So if you guys are looking for a Boulder Cup tournament, I know, oh gosh, why am I blanking?
I feel like there's 3 or 4 that are happening in Arizona alone.
Yeah. Well, and Trainer Tips just put out his video that kind of highlights the Boulder Cup too, the one that he had locally. But yeah, I know there's one going on this Sunday here in Phoenix, so I'm actually going to go to that one. That one's going to be pretty cool because luckily enough, I'm off on Sunday, so
there you go.
I've got some free time to go join that competition. But if you guys aren't familiar, the Boulder Cup, it's like the Boulder Badge basically, which is like Brock's gym from Gen 1, so it's kind of like the first badge that you can earn competitively. But it, like, just the basic rules of it, it's obviously this is PvP. Everybody's going to have 6 Pokemon, and they have to be registered before the tournament begins in your area. And then you have to have 6 Pokemon. It doesn't say 6 different Pokemon though.
It does not. And clarification,
so you can have duplicates.
I watched Nick's video here, and there were several people that actually had like 2 Skarmory on their team.
With different movesets or something. Yeah.
Things of that nature. All that rule is saying is that you're going to select the 6 Pokemon,
and
make
those
sure
are the 6 that you use.
Those are what you're limited to.
Yeah.
You're limited to pick 3 of those at any given time per match. You can change it up in between rounds if you'd like,
and the tournaments are all best. It's like best of 3. Yeah,
with ties and everything else being
redone and stuff like that.
Things of that nature.
And then obviously this is Great League only, so Pokemon can't have higher than 1500 CP, which kind of, for me personally, I like the Ultra League the best because that lets you include a lot of higher tier Pokemon, and it stretches the meta out a little bit more. Because in Great League, you can't have, there's the pool is and it isn't limited depending, but a lot of my lower CP Pokemon I'm never going to want to use in Great League because their IVs aren't great. You know what I mean?
Well, and I think
so that's why I like Ultra.
I think part of this though is obviously this is the first kind of tournament that's been set up for PvP since it was released, because it was only released a couple months ago. And also just coming up with rule set, I think there's room to expand as it goes on, as far as maybe having different tiers that you can participate in. If you want to join the
ultra-
Ultra
the
League
ultra
of a
tier.
Boulder Badge and compete in that one, or the Master in that one, then maybe it would give you a chance, different prizes, different whatever it happens to be, point system. But I think for them first starting out and doing the first tournament, I think it's good to start with just one kind of league to focus on, have people discover the meta, find out exactly how the tournaments are going to work, how we can tweak it and make it better along the way. So I think that's what they're doing.
And then the really cool thing that really locks this in and makes it the Boulder Cup is that only Pokemon with at least one of the following types are permitted. So out of your Pokemon's typing, they have to be either rock, ground, fighting, or steel. Now they can be dual typed, like for example, Marshtomp is ground water, and Skarmory is steel flying. So they can have a combination. You could have like Golem in there, or even a Alolan Golem that's like rock electric if you wanted to, and stuff like that.
I mean, I wouldn't. But,
yeah, I'm
but
just
you
saying.
could.
I'm just throwing it out there. You could use it if you wanted to, as long as it has one of those typings, which is pretty cool. I mean, you could even just throw a basic Machamp in there.
Yeah. Once again, wouldn't do that, but just my helpful advice on the Boulder Badge.
Well, what if they go in with rock and ground? They're weak to fighting, bro.
Yeah, but like most people are smarter than that when they go into a tournament. You're talking about serious players who are planning this out.
Yeah, but sometimes you can out-meta the meta by playing outside of it, and you're like, wait, this guy's got nothing but fighting Pokemon?
Like Brock, he's got a Geodude and an Onix.
And that's all he has?
It.
Oh my god. What a master.
I'm going to battle him with a Pikachu.
So if you guys are interested in looking for a tournament in your area or hosting a tournament in your area, this event runs all the way through the end of January. So follow the link in the description and you guys can check that out. But yeah, this is going to be pretty cool. I'm super excited to see how it all shakes out. And I'm planning to go there and try to record and get a video of the event too. So that should be pretty exciting. So
awesome.
Yeah. But I mean, that's pretty much it, guys. I mean, that covers everything that's going on right now in Pokemon Go. And I got nothing else to add.
Yeah, me either. There's a lot going on. There's still a lot in the last half of the month to do, as far as you still have Safari Zone going on. You still have the rest of this Feebas Day. We got, it's jam-packed. And then who knows what the next month is going to hold for everything else. So as we get closer to there, they may shake things up again.
But yeah, guys, good luck out there hatching eggs, battling those new raid bosses, catching Feebas, and then, hey, if you join the Boulder Cup, good luck in your PvP battles. That's going to do it for this episode of Loco's Pogo Podcast. Forrest, thank you, my man, for joining me. As always, you are awesome. Thank you guys so much for watching and or listening. Stay tuned to my YouTube channel for Pokemon Go content. And until next time, I'm LocoJandro, he's Forrest, and we'll see you guys later. Peace, Poke Trainers!